Hi, Maximilian from Biig Touch.
Hi.
So we just had the German session and we discussed in detail what home staging is about. And of course, the German audience is not as used as the international audience to home staging.
Yes, of course.
So we will just quickly start, and we have also some different questions here from our English listeners. For all our English listeners, if you are in the chat, you can ask questions during the chat. If you're on Facebook, you cannot ask any questions at the moment. We're testing the Facebook Live today. I hope it's working. But of course, when you are listening to YouTube, you can't ask any questions because it's recorded. However, we are today on Zoom. We are live. It's the Berlin Real Estate Talk. The company you are working for, Maximilian, is called Biig Touch Home Staging.
Yes.
Based in Berlin. And you're working in different cities between Berlin and Leipzig.
Yes.
And so how did you enter the home staging market, Maximilian?
We started with buying flats and selling them there on our own. And we saw that the process of selling was too slow. And we asked ourselves how we can make it faster, how we can introduce ourselves in it. And we heard about home staging. And we thought about, okay, let's do it at our own. And we saw that it worked. So we started to build our company. And yes, now we're here. And yeah.
Okay, so we are working very closely with Maximilian together. And we do stage a lot of our apartments, especially when we have existing apartments that are not in very good condition, or have a very special floor plan, a layout in areas of Berlin or Leipzig or Magdeburg or anything in between, even Potsdam, where we feel the home staging would increase the value of the property significantly. And of course, you mentioned the America as a country where home staging is quite familiar. Maybe you can explain a little bit where did you realize that home staging might be important for the German market as well?
Home staging is a trend from the USA. It's created by Bob Schwartz, and the market at the USA is different to the German market, and you see that the level where at the selling is wholly different to here. They are renting families to get a comfortable and warm feeling at the viewing of a flat or a home. And we saw a real nice chance to bring it to the German market, and it's the market is changing, and we try to think different, and we saw that it's also working here in Germany, and the trend is coming also here, and now we are it's a market as an established business.
Okay, so what are your typical customers?
Our typical customers are people who want to live on themselves in the flat, or yes, like a young couple or a family who wants to live in the flat or a real estate, and yes.
Okay, and the people who are giving you the contract, typically, who are asking you to please stage my apartment?
It's different because there are many builders who had new flats, who build new flats, and they said, okay, we need a showroom. We want to show what potential is behind the object, and also real estate agents like you come and ask, can we do something here? We need a faster selling. So in the end, it's mixed, and you can't tell it's more like this or this. It's in the end, there are many people who want to live on themselves there. So there are many people like real estate agents like you who are we work with.
Okay. So when we now are looking at the different staging concepts and design concepts, what do you offer as concepts?
There are different concepts like Bohemian or industrial, also Scandinavian and modern. It's different because every real estate is unique. So you have to look what kind of concept you use. If you have a
Old building.
Old building. We also use warm furniture, wood furniture to create a comfortable feeling, because emotions are necessary, and we are trying to create the feeling of home.
Okay. So when we're looking on the different design concepts, and you tell me, okay, every apartment is different, every property is different, every customer is different. So you just get asked to call you and say, hey, Maximilian, here's a flat, let's say in Berlin-Kreuzberg, and which is, I don't know, 400,000 euros. It's a two bed. What do you do? What are your steps? How do you approach that apartment?
It's different, because it has to be, first we have to look what kind of flat is it. Is it a new building, or it's an old building, or what kind of people are living in this area, and how big is the flat? Is it more for family people, or is it for a young couple? So in the end, every flat is unique. So we are trying to build for every flat their own concept to get the maximum potential.
Okay. So what kind of, a lot of our questions from our listeners or clients up front were on pricing. Of course, people want to know how much the staging costs and what is the extra price they would generate, which I think is quite difficult to say.
Yes.
But in terms of ballpark figures, maybe you can help us a little bit.
We're calculating with 1 or 2 to 3% of the sale price. But it's different, because many flats, yes, you can't tell it in the front, because we don't know how many light elements we have to use, how many real furniture we have to use. Are we using more cardboard furniture? It's not a real furniture, but it looks like a real furniture. And so you can't tell in the end that flat's gonna be that price. So first we have to go inside the flat and take the first look, and after that we are offering you the offer, and after that we are going inside, and we try to work together with the customers, because in the end we want a happy customer, we want a fast selling, so it's some kind of discussion. So because everyone has his own perspective about it, but we're trying to catch mixed customers who buy it, and yes.
Okay, you mentioned before that you're also working with different types of furniture. So you mentioned that the real furniture, and you also mentioned the cupboard furnitures and the furniture which are not real, which are looking like. There's always the argument of, I can say, a lot of my clients, especially when they're developers, they think, oh, why don't you furnish or do it just visually, just do an graphical furniture, don't do the real furniture and real. What's your argument?
Our arguments are, we're trying to create experience. It's not all about the first impression. It's about, if you're there live and walking through the flat, you can imagine how your own furniture could stay there, or how you can use this room like this. And it's always about their own decisions, and we are trying to give a visual presentation to them, and they can decide on their own how they could create their own home.
Okay. So it's all about emotion, and that people can walk around. So I can say from our experience using the staging model, especially for our apartments here in Berlin and Leipzig, that when people walk into an apartment that's staged, I mean, you're also working with furniture, and but also with towels, with little stuff in the bathroom, also working with smells, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So, and I can just have to say, it's from my experience, I've done viewings in apartments, and that people came in and said, which the same apartment was vacant, was empty, has been no furniture, and then with the furniture, people could realize, okay, that's the size of the room. I could put my bed here, I could put my chair here, my cupboard, whatever. So it does help a lot during the sales process, and especially when we have difficult apartments. For instance, we have, especially in Berlin, we have the so-called Berliner Altbau, Berliner Zimmer. So these are apartments where you have the kitchen, in the side wing of a building, which are very, very tricky to market because a lot of these apartments do not sell easily. And there's something you also can do, right?
Yes, of course. We try to get the most potential from a flat or the home, and we're trying to create a new construction of how you can use the flat or your new home. And we also have living rooms where you can try to also increase kitchen, and to show that it's not only one room apartment, it could also be a 2-room apartment. And it's not easy to imagine how it could work, but we are trying to show how easy it could be.
Yeah, especially when you market to people who want to live in these apartments themselves. So owner occupiers, it's very important that you have real furniture in the apartment rather than a simple picture or visualization, because then they can actually walk into the apartment and can get a feel and a smell. Quickly talking about the smell, what do you do with this smelling? How do you look?
We are using let it smell bottles where some,
like perfume or what?
Yeah, some kind of it. It's like a little smell of vanilla or a little smell of wood, and the people are creating a feeling or thinking about it, and it's nice because if you smell vanilla, you get a good feeling because you're thinking about Christmas or cookies or anything like that, and emotions are necessary for the selling, and yes, that's why we use it.
Okay, got it, perfect. So quickly talking about the different staging concepts, you already said that real furniture is not real furniture, no. I mean, I call it paper furniture.
Yeah.
I know it's not true.
Yeah, but it's covered.
Yeah, what's the advantage of not using real furniture?
It's different, but yeah, you can't. Sometimes covered furniture is better to use.
Okay.
Because you can work faster. It's easier to get there on a place, and especially you can create your own bed because you can see, okay, my bed is too big for this, and we can put a cupboard of staging furniture away, and we create a small bed, or we can also mix kitchen and look how it could possibly look and make different styles, and yeah.
Okay. Coming back to the purchase price, so a lot of our customers, especially when they hire us to sell the apartment, are asking us on the cost of the apartment, and especially on the cost on the staging, and of course on the price we achieve if we stage the apartment. What can you say to the market price when we have staged a property?
Yeah, actually we are get a higher price like 10 to 20%, but not on the highest price. It's about the usual market price, and yes, that's we get in the end.
So therefore I have to say, as a broker, it's not like you giving us an overpriced property and we go to Maximilian and we get another 20%. That's not how it works. So you have to have a fair market price and you start marketing the property. So please get in touch with us or another broker and get a proper valuation first. And I think it's also very important that you renovate the apartment.
Yes,
where need be, like small renovations, correct?
Yes, it's different because the beauty corrects we do at our own, but if the floor is broken or the kitchen is already more than used, we are working with subcontractors together, and we are working, try to work really fast because time is money, and with our subcontractors, the whole thing is going to be faster when we go first to another business who try to get us a new floor or anything like that.
Okay, we have just a question we got asked before this webinar tonight. Are handicraft services or handcraft services included in a home staging? You just responded to that question.
Yes.
Thank you for that. again, on costs and time. So especially when you're a vendor, you do have running costs for every apartment. So for instance, you have the house geld, you have electricity, you have gas, you might have a mortgage on the property, so you have interest and repayment of capital. So time is money, as you said already. So even though the staging, let's say it will cost a couple of €1,000 for a normal apartment, might be expensive for you at the moment. We as a partner, as Black Label, we always take a share of these costs, and we help to have these costs, of course, low for you, because we also profit when we sell quickly. And of course, we profit when we sell for a higher purchase price. Again, it has to be a fair market price, because the buyer always is going to ask us, hey, this apartment is furnished, so it's going to cost more, right? So this is a very tricky point, and we have to be realistic on market prices. So that's a very big topic. So please get in contact with us or directly with Maximilian. So the company is called Biig Touch Home Staging. So BIIG, Touch Home Staging. And you can contact them and of course give them a quote, ask them if you want to sell directly with them. You can contact them directly and you can sell it by your own. You don't have to get a broker. It's not mandatory here in Germany. But of course, if you work with us, we help you to get a realistic market price and of course give you advice where we feel home staging makes sense and where it maybe doesn't make any sense. Of course, when you have one apartment to sell, it's your own apartment, you live in the property, even there might be an option to contact Maximilian, because a lot of vendors, especially when they are living in their apartment, they want to sell it and they want to move elsewhere. Sometimes they're not really, not really presenting their property very well. So maybe that's a topic you might want to say if you have people living in their own apartment.
Yeah, there are also many kind of ways how we can get better visiting the flat, like we're cleaning up or we're putting some nice light elements inside the flat, and in the end you get a better experience when we're inside of a flat for the viewing.
Okay. Do you have any experiences from, because you're not only working for us, you're working for a lot of brokers and developers and professional vendors. So do you have any experience on the time thing, how quickly people could sell?
We try to work very quickly because we already said time is money, and we're calculating from the offer to until we start about 1 week.
Yeah.
And we try to work really fast because we try to make you happy as a broker or also the owner, because time is money in the end.
Yeah, but how quickly does a property sell when you have staged?
Okay. We're having about 1 month for the selling, but there are many flats who are going a faster way, or like it's always like 1 week and the flat is already sold, because there are so many interested people who visited it, and you get, because of this first impression from the advertisements in the internet, that you look, okay, this room is with furniture. It's my taste of how you could use this flat, and they're willingly to get there and visit it by yourselves.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay. So just quickly from us as a broker using the home staging services from Maximilian, what's quite important is that we have a much faster sales time. We get many more leads than we did without the furniture, because potential buyers or potential clients out there, not only on the internet, also on our newsletter shots, on the neighbors, they can see it. So we do a lot of more marketing. Social media is very important, of course, where we do the advertisements, the pictures, the little videos, the YouTube videos. You might have seen that already as our customer, our YouTube channel, the different videos we do. All this generates more traffic, generates more people contacting us as a broker or as a realtor or estate agency. And this means that our sales agents have more opportunities because they have more clients who are viewing this property, which means we get more offers from potential buyers. And in the end, we get better pricing. It always is easier if you have more than one buyer when you want to negotiate the purchase price, of course. That's something you, with your support, we can achieve. Of course, the broker has to know what he's doing or she's doing, and you need to do a proper due diligence before you furnish the apartment. In terms of working with Maximilian, I can say he's very reliable. We're very happy, and
thank you.
And so that's something we can look into. So in terms of the option that people are on, sell it for an investor. You know, we have a lot of people who have bought properties in Berlin, and due to the rent ceiling, they are thinking of, well, I have to sell it because the law is not giving me the opportunity to rent my apartment. So they are now selling their properties, and where you could stage them. And then what's the sort of client viewing it? Because we just discussed people who would like to live in your property or in the stage property, but there are also people who want to buy and to rent it out.
Yes.
As a capital investment. Do you offer furniture packages as well?
Yes, of course, because it's an easier way to sell flats, because the potential buyer of property say, okay, if the flat's already included with furniture, he's happy. He don't need the time to put furniture inside, and we are there to offer always our furniture to the client of yours, and it's no problem, because in the end we try to make everyone happy, and that's our business.
Great, Maximilian, thank you for your time tonight.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated that you invested 1 hour of your lifetime here in
Yeah.
our little conference room. If there are no more questions, I can see there are no questions, nothing. So I have to say thank you for listening tonight or watching tonight. Thank you to all the Facebook and Zoom listeners. You can register for our newsletter on our website. You can watch this video on YouTube. If you have further questions, please contact Maximilian. Company is called Biig Touch.
Yes.
Yeah. You can also find him on our website or contact our company, and we're happy to refer you to Maximilian. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.